The footage you are about to see was sent to us by a woman named Rebecca. For years, she lived peacefully with her husband and young daughter in a quiet neighborhood on the edge of a small town. Nothing unusual had ever happened there. The area was known for being safe, peaceful, and uneventful. That all changed after a family vacation during a weekend trip. Rebecca and her family visited an abandoned mining village hidden deep within the mountains. The village had been deserted for decades after a series of fatal accidents forced workers to leave. Locals claimed the place was cursed. They said strange figures wandered among the ruined buildings at night, and that anyone who entered after sunset risked bringing something back with them. Rebecca didn't believe any of it. The stories sounded like nothing more than folklore designed to attract curious tourists. The family spent several hours exploring the abandoned structures. They took photographs, recorded videos, and wandered through old houses that had been left untouched for generations. As they prepared to leave, Rebecca noticed something strange. In one of the photos she had just taken, a dark figure appeared standing inside a broken window of an abandoned home. She looked back at the building. No one was there. Assuming it was a trick of the light, she deleted the image and forgot about it. Or at least she tried to. A few days after returning home, unusual things began happening. At first, the disturbances seemed harmless. Rebecca would find doors open that she clearly remembered closing. Kitchen drawers were occasionally pulled out. Lights turned on in empty rooms. Her husband blamed electrical problems. Rebecca agreed. But the incidents continued. One evening, while preparing dinner, she heard footsteps upstairs. Her husband was still at work. Her daughter was sitting at the kitchen table. The footsteps continued moving from room to room. Slow. Measured. Intentional. Rebecca immediately went upstairs to investigate. Every room was empty. Nothing appeared out of place. Yet she couldn't shake the feeling that someone had been walking through the house. That night, their dog began behaving strangely. The animal stood in the hallway, staring toward the second floor. Its ears were pressed back, its tail tucked tightly beneath its body. For nearly an hour, it refused to move. The next morning, Rebecca installed a security camera facing the upstairs hallway. For several days, nothing unusual appeared. Then, shortly after midnight one evening, the camera captured something terrifying. The footage showed the hallway completely empty. Then a dark shape slowly emerged from the wall. The figure appeared almost human, but its proportions seemed wrong. Its arms were unusually long, its head tilted at an unnatural angle. The shape stood motionless for several seconds, then disappeared back into the wall. Rebecca was horrified. Her husband believed the footage was caused by a camera malfunction. Rebecca wanted to believe that too, but deep down, she knew something wasn't right. Over the following weeks, the activity intensified. Objects began moving. Toys appeared in different rooms. Furniture shifted slightly overnight. One morning, Rebecca discovered every family photograph in the house turned upside down. Not one. Not two. Every photograph. The discovery left her shaken. Then something happened that terrified the entire family. Around 2 a.m, Rebecca woke to the sound of laughter. Soft laughter coming from her daughter's bedroom. She immediately rushed down the hallway. Her daughter was asleep. The room was empty, yet the laughter continued, faint and distant. As though someone were standing Just beyond the walls, the sound abruptly stopped when Rebecca entered. The next day, she reviewed the security footage. What she found was chilling. Minutes before the laughter began, a shadowy figure had appeared in the corner of her daughter's room. The figure remained completely still, watching, for nearly 15 minutes. Before vanishing. Rebecca immediately contacted a paranormal investigation team. A group of 3 investigators agreed to spend the night inside the home. They installed cameras, audio recorders, and motion sensors throughout the property. At first, everything remained quiet. Hours passed without incident. Then one of the motion detectors activated. The signal came from the attic. The investigators climbed the ladder and entered the space. Nothing appeared unusual. The attic was empty. Dust covered the floor. No footprints. No signs of intrusion. As they prepared to leave, one investigator noticed something carved into a wooden support beam. The message appeared old, almost faded away, yet it remained visible. It read, "Do not let it see you sleeping." The investigators exchanged nervous glances. No one could explain who had written the message. Later that night, while reviewing camera feeds in the living room, they heard a loud crash upstairs. Everyone rushed toward the sound. A heavy dresser had somehow fallen over inside Rebecca's bedroom. The furniture weighed hundreds of pounds. No one could explain how it moved. Even more disturbing, the room's camera had stopped recording moments before the incident occurred. The following evening, Rebecca received a message from a local historian. He claimed to know the history of the abandoned mining village. According to him, decades earlier, an entire family had disappeared there under mysterious circumstances. Search teams found their belongings. Their food remained on the table. Their beds appeared slept in, but the family was gone. No bodies were ever recovered. Some locals believed they had encountered something living beneath the mines, something that had existed long before the village was built. Rebecca felt increasingly convinced that whatever haunted the village had somehow followed her home. The disturbances became impossible to ignore. Her daughter began describing a visitor, a tall man who stood beside her bed at night. The child claimed he watched her sleep. Rebecca initially assumed it was imagination until her daughter described details matching the figure captured on camera. The long arms, the tilted head, the dark shape. Details she had never been shown. The family became terrified. Every night seemed worse than the one before. Whispers echoed through empty rooms. Footsteps moved through hallways. Doors slammed unexpectedly. One evening, while watching television together, the entire family heard knocking coming from inside the walls. 3 knocks, then silence. Several minutes. Later, 3 more knocks echoed from a different room. Then another. The sound continued throughout the house. Always 3 knocks. Never more. Never less. An inspection revealed no plumbing issues. No animals. No explanation. Then came the footage that changed everything. Around 3 in the morning. A camera positioned in the hallway recorded movement. The shadow figure emerged once again. This time, however, it did not remain still. Slowly, it began walking toward Rebecca's bedroom. The creature reached the door, then entered. Several moments later, Rebecca suddenly sat upright in bed screaming. The figure vanished instantly. Rebecca later claimed she had experienced a nightmare unlike anything she had ever known. In the dream, she found herself standing inside the abandoned mining. Village. Every building was empty. The streets were silent. Then she saw dozens of dark figures watching from the windows. None of them moved. None of them blinked. They simply stared. When she turned around, a tall creature stood directly behind her. It leaned close and whispered 4 words. "You belong to us." She woke up screaming. This activity became more aggressive after that night. Objects were thrown, mirrors shattered, scratches appeared on walls. Even visitors began reporting strange experiences. One investigator refused to return after claiming he saw a shadow standing behind Rebecca during an interview. Another reported hearing someone whisper directly into his ear despite being alone. Weeks later, Rebecca decided to move. The family packed their belongings and relocated to another city. For a short time, the disturbances seemed to stop. Life returned to normal. Or so they thought. One evening, shortly after unpacking, Rebecca's daughter approached her with a question that filled her with dread. "Mommy, why did the tall man come with us?" Rebecca froze. Her daughter pointed toward the upstairs hallway. No one was there. At least, no one visible. That same night, Rebecca installed new cameras throughout the house. Several days passed without incident. Then a notification appeared on her phone. Motion detected. Rebecca opened the live feed. The camera showed the upstairs hallway. At first, everything seemed normal. Then a dark figure slowly stepped into view. The same figure, the same unnaturally long arms, the same tilted head. The creature stared directly into the camera, then smiled. The feed abruptly ended. The family left the house the following morning. They moved once again, then again, and again, yet the disturbances continued. Every location experienced the same phenomena. Footsteps, whispers, shadow, figures, moving objects. It was as though something had attached itself to them. Years have passed since those events. Rebecca still refuses to discuss many details publicly. However, she claims the entity remains with them. Waiting, watching, following. Wherever they go. The most disturbing part of her story came during a recent interview. She revealed that the cameras still occasionally capture the figure standing near her daughter's bedroom. Always at night. Always motionless. Always watching. But recently something changed. The creature has begun moving closer. Each appearance places it slightly nearer to the bedroom door. Rebecca reviewed recordings from the past year and noticed a terrifying pattern. Every sighting brings the figure a few steps forward. No one knows what will happen when it finally reaches the room. No one knows what it wants. But, according to Rebecca, the creature is still there. Still watching, still waiting. And every night before going to sleep, her daughter asks the same question, the question that continues to haunt Rebecca more than anything else. "Mommy, why does the tall man keep smiling at me?"